like.
Okay.
Are we good? All right. All right. My name's Morgan. I'm the cupping teacher with LMT Success Group. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of a cupping demo here on the IT band. Nice. All right. So I'll do my best with camera angles here. Please, if anything is not showing, just let me know. But I'm gonna come on the back side just to show things off a little bit easier. All right. So here we go. Here's the IT band lands. Right, all in through here. I've got my greater trochanter up through here. I've got the side of the knee here, and this is kind of where I'm going to be working. IT band is one of those sensitive spots, right? So when we start working on areas like this, we want to make sure that we are doing some type of desensitization in this area, right? So sometimes when you just go to put that cup right on there, sometimes a person will flinch or give a little bit of a reaction to it because it's a little too much for them. Just taking the cup with no suction and just kind of rubbing it across the IT band just so they know that there's sensation coming, that'll oftentimes soften up and make working on the IT band all the easier. All right, so again, these are some of the techniques that we'll learn in the class. This is one of those ones that you don't use all the time, but when you need it and it comes in handy, it's perfect. All right, just a little bit of this. All right, and so for starters, we're going to go ahead and just put down a nice little cup layout. So the first place I'm going to go ahead and put it is right at greater trochanter. So I've got my nice bigger cup here, my extra large. TC, you don't need to call them what you call it, but we'll call it extra large for now. Right, so I'm going to take my extra large, I put it at a nice medium to deeper type of a pressure, and I'm going to put it right at greater trochanter. How is that for you? Is the pressure okay? Nice. Just checking in with my client. She's all good. Right, I'm going to take my other cup. This is the next size down, the large. Right, and I'm going to come right at the side of the knee here. Right, so I don't want to be right on the kneecap. I want to be a little bit above that. Same thing. I'm going to press down, give a little bit of extra pressure, and go ahead and suction right on there. How's that for you? Is good? Okay. All right. So here I've got it on each end of the IT band. From here, I can just give it a minute. When we leave the cups on, we want to leave it about 1 to 3 or 3 to 5 minutes, right? Nothing longer than that. If you get in past that, it's just not as beneficial for the tissue and you're just kind of being counterproductive. So just stick to the shorter timelines. You can always put it back on to a different place. You don't have to feel like it doesn't need to stay on there the whole time to be effective. From here, we can start working on some fascial movements, right? So myofascial release type things. From here, I'm going to grab my cups. I'm going to lift, right? So I've got a nice lift away from the body. And then I'm going to simply pull my hands away from one another. All right. And you can kind of see that nice separation of tissue in there. How are you feeling? Good. All right. So I'm really starting to open up some of those layers and pull some of that fascia away from one another. All right. So that would be a nice way to get started on it. I could also work with more of a rotational type of a thing. So from here, I could go ahead and lift, and maybe I'll rotate them in towards one another. All right. You can come back to neutral. We can go the opposite direction too. Lift and go out away from one another. All right. And then, of course, you can lift and pull in towards one another. So now you're working all the different vectors of that fascia.